Coming to you from Farmer Dave's Kitchen here in Dracut, Massachusetts, I'm Stacey.
I'm Denise.
And we're here to help you
Prepare your share. This Vegisode is all about slaws. The term coleslaw came from the Dutch term koolslaw, meaning cabbage salad. The word kool eventually became kool.
Coleslaw has come to mean any type of dressed salad made with shredded vegetables. The ingredients chosen stay crunchy over time, even with the dressing, and their flavors mix and become better as the day goes on. These salads can be sweet or savory, chilled or warm. The combinations are endless. These are not the limped, overdressed slaws of your childhood.
So in front of us are many ingredients that can be included in your slaw. So this is our standard green cabbage and red or purple cabbage. We do not have it here, but you can use either a Savoy or a Napa. We do grow those on the farm.
Just past the season right now. So if you're planning on eating the slaw fairly soon, I also have mixed in thin slices of the lower portion of romaine lettuce. It stays really, really crunchy for quite a while.
That's a great idea. So we also have shredded carrots, radish, and thinly sliced celery for even more crunch. If you like that onion flavor, which I do, we have sliced scallions and thinly sliced red onion. Peppers are also a great add-in.
Now for some outside-the-box mix-ins for slaws that you may have at home from your CSA share or shopping at the farmer's market. Hawkeye turnips, daikon radish, kohlrabi, another use for kohlrabi, celeriac, beets, apples, and pears. Herbs. Parsley adds a really nice freshness, and sorrel has that lemony flavor that kind of adds a little punch to the mayonnaise-based dressings.
It is really nice. So we're going to go through 3 types of slaw recipes: an Asian slaw, a classic slaw, and ready for it? Butternut squash slaw.
You heard that right. Butternut
squash. So time savers. Each of these dressings you can make ahead of time in a mason jar, and a good portion of the ingredients you could shred and slice ahead of time and store them without worrying about any kind of discoloration to the fruit or the vegetable.
I think the only thing you'd have to worry about is apples and pears, obviously. Do that at the last minute. Kohlrabi and celeriac would probably be your ones that would be the most apt to discolor. So I would do those right beforehand.
Perfect.
First up, we're going to do an Asian slaw.
Yummy.
The ingredients for the dressings are as follows. Rice wine, we're going to do about 1/4 cup.
Okay.
So I'm going to have this here.
Whip this together.
Yep, I'm just going to kind of eye according to what I've got there. So that's the rice wine. Now we have toasted sesame oil. Don't put too much of this in. I'm literally doing probably not even quite 1/8 cup. This has got a very strong flavor. I love the sesame flavor, but it's got a very strong sesame flavor.
Yes, it does.
Now we have some dark tamari or dark soy sauce.
Soy.
And that's your salt, so you really are not going to have to add any extra salt and pepper to this.
Very
it's pretty
good to mention that.
Flavors. Then we have fish sauce, couple splashes. This stuff is pretty strong.
Yes, it's pretty potent.
There we go with that. Then about 1/4 cup of orange juice. About there. And then good old Farmer Dave's honey. I love this stuff. There you go. About 2 to 3 tablespoons. This really depends on how sweet you want the dressing.
Right.
As well as, it's a kind of a thickener too. So I'm going to do, I like the honey with the soy.
I know,
so
I do too.
3.
I love the sweet with the salty.
It just winds up.
It's really nice.
And it clings to the cabbage really well doing it that way.
And you had mentioned, besides orange juice, that you could actually use a different citrus juice also.
Blood orange, limes, a mixture with lemons, anything like that.
Get creative.
The other thing that would be really good in this is freshly grated ginger.
Oh,
That would be a nice.
Yeah.
So that's all ready. So you can make this ahead of time,
peasy.
put it in the refrigerator, all done.
Nice. Okay, so now for the salad ingredients themselves. So green and purple cabbage, we're going to need approximately 4 cups total of these. Ma'am.
Thank you. So these are halves because I wasn't going to try and wrangle a full cabbage on camera. I wasn't that brave, so we've cut it in half. And the way I normally would cut this is go in halfway with the tip of your knife and cut towards you.
I can back up ever so slightly.
Sorry. Then in this side. So now you have your quarter of a cabbage.
Perfect.
That is your core. Go in at an angle. Cut your core out. Oh, I left a little bit there. Hold on.
That's all right.
Core is a little tough, so you want to get that out of there.
Right.
Now, when you go to slice this, you want to slice these super duper thin.
Right, as thin as you can.
As thin as you can. Now, if you find this really difficult, you can cut it into a smaller slice.
Okay.
And use your food processor and the shredding blade. That would be fine too.
That works.
So we're just going to go in. Make sure your knife is nice and sharp when you go to do this.
Right. And then obviously how much cabbage you get is going to be dependent on the size of your cabbage.
Here we go.
The
Nice.
purple is so beautiful.
Purple's gorgeous. So that's what that looks like. Now I should add some green. Let me go right
Lovely.
in.
Backing up.
Yeah, back up. I've got a knife. Back up. There we go.
Nice.
This is how thin you want it. All right.
Very nice.
So I'll hold if you can scoop in, please.
Absolutely. Oh, we don't want that.
That's a little too big.
Little too big. That's really not what we'd consider bite size.
Nope.
Okay.
Perfect.
Excellent. So there's the cabbage. Now, celery. So thin slices, either straight across or at an angle if you're feeling fancy.
So I was feeling a little fancy, and I have them both here, but that's what it looks like at an angle.
Yeah, that looks nice.
And these are the ones that look like when they're straight. I have to show you these. They're
the two
absolutely,
different.
absolutely gorgeous.
Beautiful.
So I'm going to add a little of this to that. Okay.
All right. Carrots would be next. Straight up shredded. So again, using a food processor or a box grater, either way.
So that's what they look like. They're really, really lovely.
Beautiful. Radish. So we have shredded, now either daikon or a red radish. I believe this is our French breakfast
Yes.
radish that we use. This is what we had available today. Kohlrabi, again, would be an excellent use, putting it in a slaw.
Everyone's looking for another use for kohlrabi. You're just going to cut the top off, the bottom off, use your chef's knife, go right down the sides and peel the skin. And then I would just into chunks cut it and then use the box grater, or again, you can make use of your food processor on that.
Yeah, definitely. Then green onion sliced, which you're going to see here.
Which you love.
I love green onion.
I'm obsessed with red
It
pepper
can
flake.
go on everything.
And you're obsessed with green onions.
in my opinion.
So the ingredients, you can adjust according to your tastes. I usually measure out about a half a cup of each one or a handful. It depends on how much you have. So if you want to do that, and then we can mix everything. There you go.
Beautiful.
I go a little heavier on the carrots usually because there's
They're so
much.
sweet.
They're sweet, and it's a nice mix with the cabbage.
Was that a hint, Stace?
a little heavy with the carrots?
A little heavy on the carrots.
There you go. All
Oh,
right.
yeah, that's beautiful.
That's beautiful. So then we have the dressing.
Lovely, lovely.
I'm going to get ready to toss. Let's see.
Right.
Well, you know what? I'll pour and toss and
Excellent.
get that in there.
Now,
on a
we
nice-
would let this sit and really let the flavors mix and marry. The flavors get better over time, and the veggies actually will start to soften up ever so slightly.
There we go. I'm going to use all this dressing.
Go for it.
Whoops. Sorry, I think I just splashed you.
Yeah, it's all good.
It's all good on the farm.
Absolutely.
All right. So that's what it looks like all mixed.
Very good.
Now we have it all plated.
We do.
And we put extra green onion on it. And then
Delish.
we put some sesame seeds, some black sesame
Looks
seeds on
beautiful.
it. I mean, that's really impressive looking.
You had mentioned even doing a cooked noodle to really make this more of a meal versus maybe a side dish, I think that's a fantastic
you can
idea.
get the cellophane noodles.
Yeah.
Or the rice sticks or something
Yeah.
like that. And that would look
I love it.
great. And it would be filling.
Definitely.
All right.
Yeah,
So
love the
we're
Asian
going
flair.
to clean up and we're going to go to the next one. Hold tight. Next up is our classic slaw. We're going to show you how to do a classic slaw dressing with some optional add-ins, which we think would be kind of fun.
Yes, please.
So,
Love it.
in front of Denise, we have in the measuring cup,
Right.
1 cup of mayonnaise, 4 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar need to be added.
Okay.
So we're just
4
gonna do-
tablespoons.
And this is pretty loose. It's just kind of, yep,
That's me.
that's
That's
good.
how I do it.
I think so. A tablespoon of honey. You could go a little heavier on the honey if you
It's
want
honey.
to. And it's Farmer Dave's honey. It's really kind of top notch to us. There we go. Oh, nice. Then some celery seed. I usually just do a couple shakes of it.
Okay.
Oh, you took the top
I
off. You are.
usually do this in my hand
It's probably a good idea.
because that scares me.
The vision of
Just
the top
saying.
falling off
Just
and into
saying.
it, and then some salt and pepper. The other thing we usually add to this, which was mixed in because we had put it in ahead of time, is some of that grainy Dijon mustard. It just adds more of that
Yes.
tang and a little bit more body to the actual dressing.
Very nice.
Now you can really put these in a mason jar if you want to. We
do
also
the
added a
shake.
splash of buttermilk to it just to make it a little looser for the dressing. So you can either shake it in the mason jar
so
or do
good.
it just, doesn't that smell good? As soon as that celery seed hits it,
I love celery seed.
it just looks delicious.
This looks great. Okay.
All right, so our dressing is ready. So you can do this ahead of time and then put it in the refrigerator, and
Definitely.
then you can put all this other stuff together and
Yeah.
mix it all in. All right, here we go.
Very good. Very good. So the veggies for this slaw include, we have our cabbage, obviously. You've got your purple or red, and then you have your classic green. And this is about 4 cups or so. We have peppers cut very thin. And doesn't really matter what pepper you have, whatever's in your CSA is totally fine. These were actually mostly cone peppers versus bell. And then we did go ahead and add in a very thin slice of a red onion as well. Carrots would be a great addition to this. Celeriac would be a wonderful addition to this.
But we do have
and shredded,
celery.
we do have celery, so let's put that in. Now this is fun, apples shredded. So we ended up actually shredding apples and pears. I know that we have plenty of those in our share.
There we go. I'm going to put all of those
Just
in
put it
because
all in.
I
I
really
love it.
like the apples and pears.
Now, golden raisins, this was a little bit different. And again, if you're not a fan, leave them out. That's fine. And green onion, because I put green onion in everything.
There's the green
That looks
onion.
beautiful.
You know what?
Okay.
We have some radish left over from the other one, so I'm going to throw in some radish
Oh, why
too.
not?
Just
You
adds
have
that
it,
little
go
bit of a
ahead and
bite.
use it. Okay. So
Here's the
dressing
mix.
essentially is ready. So we're going to give this a little bit of a toss, and then we're going to pour the dressing in.
Whoops, I just had a flying pepper.
That's okay.
All right, you want to get the dressing in there?
You bet. So we're not going to put the whole thing in quite yet. Let's mix a portion of it and see how we feel about this.
I don't like it too wet.
Yeah, exactly.
I want it enough so it comes together. The dressing will help soften some of the vegetables too, just because it's got the apple cider vinegar in it.
Right.
But I don't like it when it's, see, this is going to be just enough dressing.
That's perfect.
Now, if it happens, if you store this in the refrigerator and it happens to kind of evaporate and tighten up, and sometimes the veggies absorb the dressing,
Yeah.
you always have a little extra you can refresh it with.
Absolutely. And remember, you can sub out your ingredients to your particular taste.
Look at how pretty that looks.
That is gorgeous.
So we have that. So that's the bowl.
Right.
Now we have it
Beautiful.
all served up.
That looks really good.
I think we need to taste this
we
one.
should definitely taste this. I'm anxious to try the apple and the pear. I think that was what I was really looking forward to. This like lobster, you shouldn't ever have coleslaw on a first date.
The raisins and the sweetness from the apples and the pears.
That's
and
lovely.
opposite the onion. I really like that one. And I think I took too big of a bite.
It's all good. Making slaw from scratch really is the way to go. I don't think I've had a slaw as good as this. It's excellent.
All right. I'm going to put this away, and we're coming up with the last slaw. We'll be right back.
Hold on.
And now it's time for something completely different. Butternut squash slaw.
Yeah.
This is made, you've never had this before,
I
have you?
not.
This is made with raw shredded butternut squash. Don't knock it until you try it. First, we're going to make the dressing for it. So we've got a mason jar to shake it well. And we're going to be, you could also use and make this like in the bottom of the bowl if you wanted to,
Sure,
and
sure.
then put everything in.
Absolutely.
So we have the olive oil already in it.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
You're going to do 3 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar.
Okay.
Nice.
Right. That's about right.
And then a good 3 tablespoons of maple syrup.
Maple syrup.
You can always go a little heavier on the syrup if you want to.
Sure. You have to ask me twice on that
See
one.
what that looks like. Nice. Oh, it's going to taste so good.
There's not much left in there. We
No.
could just finish it right now.
Salt and pepper, because we didn't put any ingredients in this one that had
Right.
any
That naturally contains the salt.
the salt and the pepper. So once you have all these ingredients, if you had them in the bowl, you're just going to use a whisk and get them all mixed. Denise is going to do a little shaky here.
Oh, yeah? Just in case.
Ready? It's a little easier to shake the maple
Yeah.
syrup than the honey.
Yes, it
Sometimes you need to do a little bit more.
It definitely is. So, all right.
right,
So how are
nice.
we getting this butternut ready?
Okay, so the butternut squash, you can use a square grater and do it by
okay.
hand if you want to.
Sure.
But you know what? If you have a food processor with a shredding disc,
Yes.
save your hands, save your wrists. Just get it peeled and cleaned, which is what I have right here.
Beautiful.
And I have the shredding disc in, and I'm just going to put it through the chute pieces. I cut them in pieces that would fit there, and I'm going to use the little pusher there so my
Go
hands
for
don't
it.
go in. I'm just going to stop talking now because this thing is a little
It's
loud.
a little bit loud.
So we're going to do
Cue
this
the
really
food
fast.
processor.
Here we go.
There we go.
There we go. Oops. So we're going to take this chunk out because it didn't go all the way through, which will happen quite a bit. And we're back on. I'm going to use that bigger piece. There we go.
Oh, that would help.
That would help. Trying to remember to put all the pieces back so I don't have to stick my fingers in them.
Correct.
There we go. Oh, come back. Perfect.
All right.
So we have a few pieces that are still in there. Take those out. But this totally saves your hand. This
Oh,
is
my
well
goodness.
worth everything.
Absolutely. And we started with about 3 cups of the shredded cabbage. Again, we have the purple or the red. We've got the green. Now, you could also do a little bit of chopped parsley if you wanted to do that. Just adds a real nice freshness.
Okay, I'm going to go in with this.
This is amazing.
So this is your main ingredient. So I go a little heavier than this than on the cabbage.
Right.
But there we go. It looks like cheese, doesn't it?
It looks like cheese.
It's so funny.
No joke.
Any little
And
pieces
just
in
check
there?
to make sure there aren't any funny chunks that. No, I think we're in good
Escaped?
shape.
Good?
Yep,
All
no
right.
escapees. We're good.
Very nice.
Scallions and craisins.
This is one of my favorite add-ins.
Now
It's the whole yin and yang thing with this
it
one.
is.
There
The
we go.
sweet. We've got some salt of the dressing. So this is going to get all tossed together to coat. Let's give this one last little shake. Again, I'm not going to put the whole thing in. I'm just going to put a portion of
first.
it. You can always add more. You can't take it out. And this really makes great lunch portions along with chicken, tossed with noodles, or as part of a rice bowl or a power bowl.
It's also a really great side dish for Thanksgiving. Everybody's expecting the cooked squash.
Right.
It's really fresh. It's nice. If you don't like cabbage, you can leave the cabbage out of this.
Yeah.
I would just add extra.
It's a good idea.
A green onion. That way you've got that little counterpoint to the sweet
the
cabbage.
sweet, sure.
And that's with the apple cider vinegar and then the craisins.
There was an escapee.
There was one.
I
There we
got
go.
him.
I think this needs more of the dressing, actually.
You got it.
There we go.
Excellent.
So that's that.
This is beautiful.
Now I have
really,
one
really
all,
gorgeous.
all
Nice.
plated.
Beautiful.
Here's your fork.
Love it. Okay.
Going in. Here we go. You have to get the craisin in the bite.
And the green onion.
And the green
scallion.
onion.
All right. This is probably too big of a bite, but that's okay.
Didn't know you'd like it raw, did you?
No.
Nobody
This is surprisingly
Nobody-
amazing.
believes me with this one.
I should know better than to doubt you ever. This is so good.
One of my other favorite uses for this too, or with any of the slaws, is if making the pulled pork or the pulled chicken,
Right.
or something like that. Having that as a little topping to the sandwich just adds a little
This
bit
would be
of
great
freshness.
on a bed of lettuce for salad for lunch. Like this is fantastic. I love this. This is a winner.
Winner, okay, great.
Absolutely.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
You bet.
Okay, so please try these and enjoy them.
Thanks for watching, guys.